Hey guys, how's it going? It is Kire here with another Infinite Magicraid video. And in today's video, I want to talk about, is it worth pulling for these heroes on the current Wish banner, the Miracle Wish banner here. We have 5 heroes that you could potentially get from a legendary side, and then these 4 epics. And I think it's important to weigh how good each one of these are because of how the pull structure works. And how it works is at the 3rd legendary you get through this, you're guaranteed to get the one you choose in the Wish hero here. And make sure you pick it immediately because I have seen some visual bugs with this where it will say you have 3 legendaries, but you really have 2. So just to avoid any kind of worry where you're at on the chain, I would recommend immediately picking a Wish hero as soon as possible. And then it takes 150 per pity timer. So worst case scenario, it takes 450 of these miracle shards to be able to actually get the hero you want. And then they patched it about a few months ago where your progress will carry over from event to event. So if you get like 1 legendary, for example, and then later on there's another event, you only need 2 to get that guaranteed one, for example. And then the best places to get these, currently they have an event going on. I like that they timed it this way, where they have the Brave Trial, and this is one of the better ways to get some of these miracle runes here. You get a ton of them. So, or I guess I should say a relatively ton of them compared to what you would normally get. But because it takes 450, this is not much, but at least it's rewards targeting miracle runes. They have that going on. Another way would be to just save your gems. You actually do get a decent amount of gems, especially when you start to push into the guild boss. You get a lot of daily gems. Like, for example, I know this is far away, but 160 a day there, and then 100 there. So you get a lot of gems in them, plus the typical stuff you'd get through quests. But that's how you can potentially get a ton of these miracle rune summons, and then eventually you save up for the right hero. But is this the right hero to pull on? And my rule of thumb is I like to look at the 5 heroes here and see if I were to pull any of these 5, would I be disappointed? And I think I'd be disappointed with 2, almost 3 of these heroes. And especially compared to some of the other Miracle Wish events that I've seen in the past, those ones I would look at all 5 and I'm like, you know what, I'll make all 5 of those work. Like the last time it was like Ascendo, and I forget the specific other ones, but it was like a lot of good heroes. I want to say like Ascendo, Sigmund, Nicholas, like a ton of good heroes there. Whereas here, you get an amazing hero potentially in Mamuk. I think this guy's guaranteed going to be very good. Can't go wrong with this guy. He has the attack down 2 on his A1 with a really good percentage chance. The 70% chance. I believe this is going to be guaranteed. Where if you get enough affected over the enemies in PvE, you have a guaranteed attack down 2, and then also a guaranteed attack horrify, which is hilarious. Like that combination on an auto attack, because attack down 2 is unprecedented to have on an auto attack like that. This is very good already. And then you have the taunting ability with the Immortal for 2 turns. This is already way better than Hell 9000. I've already talked about this hero, but I just want to really re-emphasize just how good this hero is when it comes to my thought process on when I'm making this decision of going for this hero. So I think depending on if you already have a good carry, like let's say you have a really good HP burner, whether it be Sigmund, I would say like the top ideally would be Hizania. You really need to have Hizania as like the absolute best HP burner. Constellation prize would be like Melia, Sigmund. Yeah, Hoff doesn't really count, but I would say like Melia, Sigmund, Quinlan, those people are going to be like your main HP burners that you really need to have to justify ever considering pulling someone else, in my opinion. Because if you don't have a good HP burner, that's like the main priority. That's the thing that's going to get you through the most content. That would be my priority first, and probably save these summons until you can get a guaranteed legendary summon on that hero. If you already have that, then I think this is a really good character to go for, because I think this guy would immediately replace a character that I really like a ton, Visly here, because I use her for her AoE attack down, but I basically get an AoE attack down with him because what I do is I would just have Catherine go, and then as counterattacks happen, he's just going to auto attack everyone, start applying that attack down to everyone, but then also I wouldn't have to worry about her cooldowns being up. I could just immediately have Catherine go first, shield, counterattack, heal, counterattack while on the AoE move, and then we'll immediately apply that attack down 2 without needing an ability there. You know, I can see certain situations where that's not necessarily going to work. Maybe the enemies won't attack or they don't have AoEs, so then he won't always guarantee to apply that attack down 2 without having to go himself. But on an auto attack like that, plus with him having taunt and immortal and all that thing, it's going to make him such a good character in helping you progress. and then also being incredibly annoying in arena because he has the immunity to stun, freeze, hypnotize. Like, he's absolutely hilarious with good healing, good survivability. So it's like he's obviously going to be a very good character, worth pulling for. It's just in most people's situations, it's very difficult to get these anyway, and you want to be absolutely certain that this character is going to be worth going for when it comes to a wish. And then just in general, me personally, I don't like recommending wishes to people because I don't know your full account. I don't know all the heroes you have, and it takes a lot of information to be able to make a good decision there. But that's my thought process when I look at this. I look at the 5 heroes. Am I disappointed if I pull one of these? If yes, usually I just pass on it. If no, then I'll consider just how good are the heroes. Like, what does the hero actually want? And then if that hero is actually really good, meta defining, whatever, then I'll consider actually going for him. And I think he is meta defining. I think he would make a big difference in progression, but you got to factor in everything here to really make a good decision going forward and actually picking this hero, because I think most people are light spenders or free to play. They're not going to be able to have this opportunity for a very long time. So I think he's only worth it if you already have Azonia. I'd probably say he's a no-brainer because he's also green mark too. They double down there, and you probably already invested in your tower mark on the green side. So that would be the situation where it's just like, absolutely, if you have the means or the pulls where you're close to pity, then go for it. So that is my thought process on these. I also have a video where I break down all 3 of the new heroes. I did that yesterday, so check that out right here. And with that, guys, I'm out of here. Peace.